you for lunch today?
You know, I think I'll take my chances at the cafeteria.
Oh, got money?
Yep. Oh, Aaron invited me over after school today. Is that okay?
Yeah, Mr. Carver's called another faculty meeting. Probably gonna run a little late.
Coming! Be careful. Homework?
Got it.
Okay.
How about you?
Yeah, never leave home without it. Buckle up. Ready?
Dad wants me to spend next summer in California with him.
Well, what do you think?
You mean I'll be old enough then to make my own decisions?
Some.
Yeah, the problem is the whole summer.
Is a long time.
Right.
Just tell him the truth. He'll understand. Not that I'd miss you anyway.
Mom!
Pick you up after the meeting. Okay. Love you. Thanks for taking her. I'll try not to be late.
Don't forget, we've got you and Hal for dinner Saturday night.
Looking forward to it. Forget, we have dinner at Susan's Saturday night.
Got it. Listen, when was the last time I asked you to marry me?
Yesterday.
That's what I thought. I haven't changed my mind, by the way.
Good. How?
Weekends are best for me.
Well,
As you know, I teach during the week. I need my sleep.
of course you do.
And I mentioned it to Dana. She's all for it. And she's available every weekend except the third one in March, some Girl Scout deal, I believe.
Meanwhile, dinner's Susan's Saturday.
Oh, so I guess this weekend is out. Huh?
Yes. So if I come off a little tough and it seems like I'm throwing a lot at you, I am. Maybe I should ask you how tough you think it's going to be in the real world after you graduate.
Pretty tough.
And why do we think this?
Because everyone tells us over and over and over again.
And maybe that's because it's true and it bears repeating. It is rough out there.
That's because there's a lot of math out there.
Yes, Curtis, and there's going to be more in here tomorrow because you're going to be quizzed on this. Sine, cosine, tangent, cotangent, and don't forget your logarithm tables. Bye. Thank you, Curtis.
And a review of last year's curriculum and grade curve for the period shows a dip in averages across the board, which I think we'll agree deserves further examination.
Hi, Mom.
Honey, this meeting is running long, and I'm going to have to stop on the way home to pick up something for dinner.
And that's okay. If it's after 4, I'll just meet you at home.
All right. Love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye.
I could drive you home, honey.
It's only a few blocks. Mom's probably already headed home.
Okay. Be careful crossing streets.
I will.
Bye.
See you there.
Dana! Dana? Dana?
Sweetie,
Dana! Suze, hi, it's Linda. Listen, I should have picked up Dana first, but she's...
She left already.
What time did she leave?
A little after 4. She had her key. Said she wanted to get home, that you'd probably be there.
Are you sure she was headed straight home?
Positive.
But her book bag's not here.
Well, could she have been there and gone out again?
No, Dana would leave a note.
Well, I'm sure there's a logical explanation. She'd probably stroll in there any second.
Susan, she only had to walk 4 blocks. I think I should call the police.
Honey, I think you're overreacting.
Well, no, I think I should call them.
Okay. Look, don't panic. I'm going to come over and I'll keep an eye out for her on the way.
All right, bye.
Jerry, I need to go over to Linda's.
She should have been home an hour and a half ago, and she has... Dana Hemmings. Hemmings. She's 11. Brunette. 4'5", 4'6". Wearing... She was wearing a pink and yellow plaid jumper and socks and penny loafers, and a jean jacket. She had like a denim jacket on.
Excuse me, sir.
What is it, Haggerty?
I'm sorry to bother you on your day off, but we've got a possible abduction of a little girl.
Well, either you have one or you don't have one. Which is it, son?
Well, one's been reported. The mother called. She said the kid's missing. She never arrived home from a friend's house.
Well, maybe she stopped to have a Coke or go to the mall or do whatever kids do today.
We also have a witness.
And she's going to walk in here any minute.
Mrs. Hemmings, I'm Lieutenant Woolman. This is Sergeant Haggerty.
Has something happened?
We had a witness report about a man putting a little girl into a car over on Slayton.
Was it my daughter?
Well, the description, the clothes she was wearing match what you phoned into the desk, Sergeant.
Is there anything else?
May we come in?
Oh, yes, please. Come in, both of you. Yes. This is Susan Fisher, the neighbor my daughter was visiting.
Hello.
Hi.
Has your husband been notified?
We're divorced. He lives in San Francisco.
I see. Your daughter, she's 11 years old, right?
Yes.
Would you happen to have a picture of her?
Yes, right here.
Would you describe her as responsible? I mean, she wouldn't do something like this on her own, get into somebody else's car, would she?
No, Dana would never do anything like that. And I thought that you said the girl was taken into the car.
Yeah, I'm afraid we can't rule out kidnapping. Listen, where are your phones? We're going to monitor your calls, all right?
Well, there's one right here. And there's an extension in the kitchen and one upstairs in my bedroom. I've lived here my whole life. I've never heard of anybody being kidnapped.
Unfortunately, it can happen anywhere.
Hello?
Hey, I was just thinking, why don't we grab an early breakfast together?
Hal, I've been trying to reach you. Dana didn't come home and the police are here, and I guess I should get off the phone just in case somebody tries to call.
Oh, my God. Linda.
Linda?
Oh, Dana! Oh, sweetheart. Oh, sweetie. Hey, look at you. Are you all right?
I'm okay.
Oh, you're so dirty. Are you
Hal?
sure?
Susan.
Dana, I was so worried about you. I was so worried I called the police.
Honey? I'm Lieutenant Willman, and that man over there is Sergeant Haggerty.
Okay, look, Dana, we need your help. Now, we didn't know where you've been, who you've been with. It's
Hold it.
important that you...
I think there may be too many people in this room.
Oh, Mama's got you.
Lieutenant?
No, thanks.
Do you want some
doing over here? You feeling better now?
Yes, thank you.
That's good. Honey, whatever happened, you're gonna have to talk about it. You're gonna have to tell someone. Why don't you start by telling me?
I tried to walk away, but he grabbed me and pulled me.
He made you get into the car?
He forced me. And then we drove around for a long time.
How'd you ever get away?
We went through a red light. There was almost an accident with another car. I jumped out and hid.
And then what happened?
When he couldn't find me, he left. And I ran home. I was afraid to be on the sidewalk, so I stayed in backyards all the way.
That was very smart, Dana, and very brave, too. Honey, what did he do to you?
He held the back of my hair real tight. And then he kissed me.
He kissed you on the mouth?
Hard. He said I was pretty. And we were going to have some fun.
What else,
He put his hands between my legs and touched me.
Did he hurt you?
I kept telling him I had to go home. But he said, forget it. I'm never going home again.
Those were his exact words?
Yes,
What do you remember about the car?
it was real dirty. He had some kind of camera on the front seat.
Would you happen to remember what kind of car this was?
No. But I know who he is. It was the father of a girl in my class at school. Chrissy Ryder's father.
This is his car. He works the night shift.
Get with Charles Ryder?
Yes, sir. How can I help you?
We have a warrant for your arrest.
Oh, what are you kidding? I pay all my traffic tickets.
This is for suspicion of kidnapping and child molestation.
Are you crazy? What do you mean? Child molestation? You have to come with us. You guys have to be joking. You're making a terrible mistake here. All right, go ahead.
We don't need your permission.
What I'm saying is I don't have anything to hide. Nothing at all.
The girl goes to school with my daughter. She was walking the same direction I was going. I offered her a ride. That's all.
She agreed to go with you?
She said, great. Great. And then after a few blocks, she changed her mind, right?
You know we have a witness who says that you forced her into the car.
No, I did not force anybody into my car. Maybe I helped her into my car.
She got pretty scraped up running away from you.
I'm separated from my wife and my kid. I'm living in my own place. I'm trying to get it back together. We're supposed to move back in together soon. My job is a couple of weeks old. Now, why would I go and do a crazy thing like that and blow everything I've been working for?
I don't know, Eddie. Why don't you tell me?
How's she doing?
Well, she was all right until just before she went to bed last night. She didn't sleep very well. Do you think I ought to keep Dana out of school today?
Absolutely. I think you should. Unless you think that might make her more anxious.
No. No, I think she should stay home. I'd like to stay with her. Could you get Francine to sub for me?
Sure.
Thanks. I didn't sleep very well either.
Morning.
Hi, sweetie.
Hey, kiddo.
Hello? Yes, Michael. No, she seems all right this morning. Well, I was hung up at a faculty meeting, and she was at Susan Fisher's, so I thought she... Michael, I didn't call and tell you what happened to have you blame it on me. Hold on. It's your dad, Dana.
Hi, Dad. Fine. No, really, I'm okay. No, I don't want you to worry. Everything's okay.
Specialty of the house. Coming up. Yeah. Good. 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 It's very good. It's very good. Lieutenant Woolman.
I was in the neighborhood. How's Dana?
Better. We took the day off.
That's a good idea.
Oh, please come in.
Thanks.
I'm glad you dropped by. Please, sit down. Would you like something to drink? A cup of coffee?
No, no, thank you. I really dropped by just to tell you that I leaned on the DA to file charges.
Leaned? Is there a problem?
Well, this guy Ryder has been in some scrapes before. Bar fights, drunken disorderly, one assault charge, but nothing like what occurred with your daughter.
I'm not following you. Dana's already identified him as the man who abducted her.
He says he offered your daughter a ride, she accepted, and the rest she made up.
Well, what about the witness?
The witness can testify as to what she saw, but she can't testify as to what went on inside the car.
What about evidence? I mean, did you search his house?
For what? There was never any mention of a weapon. And a search warrant has to be specific, or else it's illegal search and seizure.
Dana mentioned a camera in his car.
When he was arrested, the car was impounded, but no camera was found. Besides, unless there were photos taken, it would have no bearing on the case.
I'm sorry. I guess I just don't understand how this works. Okay. What happens next?
There's going to be a preliminary hearing.
But he'll go to prison, won't he?
Mrs. Hemmings, we're just beginning. It's a long way between arrest and prison.
Well, you're right. It's a mess. Taking to hold my job for me, my wife. I can't believe how upset she is. And there she is thinking Eddie's back. He's going to make everything great for me and Chrissy again. Thanks. And then this happens. David?
Now, these charges are going south. There's nothing to them, and that's honest. 5 minutes on the phone would do one hell of a lot for my marriage.
5 minutes.
Hello?
Teacher.
Hello?
Teacher. You've been very naughty.
Who is this?
Well, you know who it is. And when I get out, I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to hurt you in the worst way. Even if I go to prison, it won't be for as long as you think. And then I'm coming back for her. You can't watch her every minute. Someday she'll be on her way to school, and then she'll just be gone. Or she'll be taking her bike to the park, and I'll be there. And when I'm done, her body will never be found. Believe it, Mommy, I can do it. I know how to make it happen. Her body will never be found.
He phoned you last night, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, I heard he made an unsupervised call.
Well, great. He's allowed to phone and threaten me with the police standing by?
Look, he gave the jailer some sucker line about calling his wife. I'll see it doesn't happen again.
Lieutenant, Ryder said that whether he goes to prison or not, he's going to come back and go after Dana.
Guys like Ryder like to intimidate, so they lash out with their mouth, but that's usually the extent of it.
No, he said, I know how to do it. Her body will never be found. Now, I heard his voice. I heard what he said, and I know he meant it.
Well,
It's time to go in now.
Your Honor, charges against the defendant are kidnapping and criminal sexual conduct in the second degree.
Do you understand these charges, Mr. Ryder?
Yes, ma'am.
In the matter of bail, Mr. Gordon?
Well, we feel the release of the defendant would be inimical to the public safety, Your Honor.
How so?
The nature of the crime, and that he's known to have threatened a complainant in a previous assault charge. That threat caused the complainant to refuse to testify. Therefore, the state requests bail be set at $50,000.
Granted. Mr. Ryder, your first appearance in district court will be within 10 days of this hearing, at which time you'll enter a plea to the charges outlined here today.
Threatened witnesses in previous cases? Why wasn't I told this?
It wasn't in his file, Mrs. Hemmings. We just found out about it
When did you find out?
last night. See, about a year ago, a man Ryder was working with accused him of stealing. Ryder beat the man so badly he filed charges. Ryder threatened to kill him. Charges were dropped.
Wait a minute. Did Lieutenant Willman tell you that Ryder phoned last night and threatened me and my daughter?
He admits that he called you. But he claims that he was just trying to explain to you that he's innocent.
I don't believe this.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Hemmings. It's your word against his.
I'm going to talk to the eyewitness again to see if she can be more specific about what it is that she saw. But I'm afraid that it might come down to what you just went through, which is Ryder's word against your daughter's.
Well, fine. She's telling the truth. He's lying.
No, it's not that simple. Ryder's public defender is a young hotshot lawyer looking to make a name for himself. He's going to put Dana on the stand. He'll ask her if she likes to fantasize. He's going to twist the facts inside and out and make her the defendant.
What are you telling me, that we shouldn't pursue this?
No, I'm only saying that even though Dana may be telling the truth, it's going to be rough on her, and it's going to be rough on you.
So what should we do?
I can't tell you that. I got another lead to follow. I'll call you.
I'm Sandy Ryder, Eddie's wife.
You startled me.
I've been waiting to talk to you, Miss Hemmings.
About what?
These lies about Eddie. I don't know why your girl'd say such things.
Dana doesn't tell lies.
Well, sure you're gonna say that, because she's your daughter. But Eddie says she's lying, and you gotta get her to stop.
I'm sorry, I don't have to listen to this.
Now look, Eddie and I, we're just getting back together when all this started.
Let go of my
Look,
car.
it wasn't Eddie's fault. You gotta drop your charges.
Let go!
You gotta drop your charges. Look, she wasn't hurt none. She wasn't hurt. He didn't hurt her. Please listen to me. Your kid's a liar. I'm saying she's a damn liar. She's lying. She's lying.
After he had the hassle with the other worker, he started giving me a hard time. Didn't take well to any kind of authority.
How long was he here?
4 or 5 months. Firing him was my pleasure.
What about friends?
Closest thing he had was a guy he beat up. Charlie Garnsey. Go ahead, talk to him. I got kids, too. 2 girls.
You had a problem with him.
I don't need any more trouble, okay?
I'm waiting.
Last fall, after he started working here, a couple of us got a hunting shack in the wetlands up past Pilson's Landing. We took him along a couple of times, that's it.
Is he a hunter?
No, he didn't know diddly. But he liked to sit in that shack with a 6-pack and talk like he did. The only other guy who paid half attention to his bull was Bert Jeter.
Jeter. Is he on this shift here?
No, he moved to Louisiana. I heard Ryder went down to visit him in August after he split up with his wife. Looking for work, I guess.
What did the assault have to do with your hunting trip?
I had a camera, one of those fancy Japanese deals. Ryder kept eyeballing it. 2 days later, it comes up missing in my truck. I accuse him of stealing it, and he goes nuts.
He beat you up.
No, he sucker punched me. He kicks me when I'm on the ground, and I break 3 ribs. So I file a charge against him. That's when he went even crazy.
He threatened you not to testify.
He said he'd kill me.
And you believed him.
If Ryder says something's gonna happen, it happens.
You see him around?
No. The next time I get a gun, you better not be in the same county.
We'll talk again.
All rise. 10th District Court in the County of Fulton is now in session. Judge Wayne Landis presiding.
Be seated. Edward Charles Ryder. The charges against you are kidnapping and criminal sexual conduct in the 2nd degree. How do you plead?
Your Honor, my client would like to plead not guilty. At this time, the defense wishes to file a motion to dismiss for lack of probable...
Bad draw here. What do you mean? Landis is soft, and Ryder's attorney knows it.
Very well, Mr. Hahn. Let the record show that a formal motion to dismiss has been made. Is there anything else?
I'd like to request a reconsideration of bail, Your Honor. My client has a family to support, and the time he spent in jail already has jeopardized his job. We request he be released on his own recognizance.
Your Honor, Mr. Ryder telephoned the mother of the victim in this case and made threats against her and her daughter.
Your Honor, my client admits in a moment of weakness he called Mrs. Hemmings, but only to beg her to believe in his innocence.
Mr. Gordon, are there any witnesses to this alleged threat?
No, Your Honor.
Well, then, is there any other reason why bail should remain so high?
No, Your Honor.
In that case, it is my opinion, since there is no additional information, that bail should be reduced. Bail is set for $10,000.
Since bail is set at $10,000, if he can raise $1,000 for a bondsman, he's out.
He'll come after Dana the minute he gets
Mrs.
out.
Hemmings, look, even if he is released, there are conditions imposed. And there's no way that he can come after you or your daughter without being thrown right back in jail. And all charges against him are still pending.
Can you provide us with police protection?
I'll see what I can do.
Can you protect us or not?
I'm afraid I can't do anything official. I'm sorry.
going to make bail?
Allowing for paperwork, he'll be back on the streets tomorrow morning.
Back on the street as though nothing ever happened? How is that possible?
Mrs. Hemmings, you teach math, isn't that correct?
Yes.
Well, in math, everything sort of adds up, doesn't it?
Well, it's supposed to.
The law doesn't always work that way. Sometimes 2 and 2 makes 5. Will you have a seat? Whatever else happens, this guy Ryder has never been charged with crimes like this before. Even if he's convicted of both charges, sentencing guidelines only allow for 24 months in jail. If he behaves himself, he'll be out in 16.
16 months?
If he's convicted of lesser charges, he could even get probation.
Could he be acquitted?
It's not over yet. Not if I can make a stronger case.
How?
Find out about other crimes he may have committed, so we can put him away for longer.
Lieutenant Ryder said that I could believe that he wouldn't get caught. He said, I know how to do it.
I remember that.
What if he's done it before? What if he's killed a little girl and hidden her body?
I've called in for all the files about missing children in this area.
And?
I'm working on it. Get over here. I don't want one thing to happen to that little girl, do you understand?
Oh, whatever happens, happens.
That goes both ways, Eddie.
You take your hands off.
If anything happens to that little girl, anything, you will answer to me in a very big way. You got that?
Take your hands off me.
You know the case. I'm gonna walk out, and I'm gonna walk away.
Mom?
Dana? What is it? Dana, he cannot come near us. There's a police order preventing him from coming near us.
Listen, is there any place that you can go for a few days?
He's the criminal. We shouldn't have to run away.
I'm only thinking about your daughter, for her protection.
Susan Fisher has a house at the lake. Maybe, if they're going for a long weekend, maybe we could catch up with them.
Good, do it.
Come on, Dana. Go to the car, Hank. Come on. Just get in the front. I'll get the bags. Get in, Dana.
Jerry, that's Linda. Pull over.
Can Dana go with you?
Yeah, sure, I'll get her. Come on, Dana.
What about you?
I'll be up later. Some things about this guy I want to find out.
Oh, I don't like the sound of that.
Don't worry about me. Just don't let Dana out of your sight, all right?
Okay.
See you in a few days. Aren't you coming? I want to, but there's some things I have to do first. Will you be all right? I'll be fine.
Everybody ready? Here we go.
Bye, Mom.
See you later.
Can I help you? Oh, Mrs. Hemmings, sorry if I scared you. If you'd have called ahead, I could have got the lights back on for you.
It's all right, Casey. I just forgot some reports. I won't be very long.
Sure, go right ahead.
I can't believe that he was this stupid.
Stupid enough for you to prove that he did it? Do you know what this is going to do to Dana?
The only thing I can do is charge him with breaking and entering, malicious mischief. But without prints, if we don't get any witnesses, we're not going to have much of a case.
Would it get him off the street?
For about 10 minutes.
Do you have children?
Sort of. I wasn't the very best father on the planet. I checked into Ryder's history as far back as I could. Violent father, broken home, just about everything you would expect. Now, apparently, that violence carried over. He threatened to kill a man who accused him of stealing his camera.
The one Dana saw in Ryder's car?
Possible. We didn't find a camera, remember?
Ryder took a photography class at the high school.
Excuse me?
3 years ago. He learned how to use a dark room.
Well, how do you know that?
Checked his school records.
Mrs. Hemmings, stay out of places where you don't belong.
The camera may tie in. The kind of pictures Ryder would take you couldn't get developed at a drugstore.
No leaps here. He has a terrible temper.
Do you think he took up landscape photography? Isn't it clear the kind of man we're dealing with here? What about the missing children you were going to check on?
About a year ago, there was a girl missing in Bakerville around the same time that Ryder moved from there. There was also a girl missing from around here.
When?
2 years ago.
I don't remember hearing about that.
Well, the parents thought she was a runaway, so it didn't even make the papers.
Is there any connection with Ryder?
There could be. Ryder's brother-in-law was dating the older sister of that runaway.
When the girl disappeared?
Yes. Listen, I'm going to Bakerville tomorrow. You want to come with me?
Why?
You ask a lot of good questions. You could be helpful.
You believe he killed the girl in Holton, don't you?
There's no evidence to support that.
Ryder met her through his brother-in-law, and he killed her.
Look, what I believe doesn't matter. What matters is what could be proved in a court of law. You know, nothing against Chicago. But I left there to get away from things like this. So how'd this guy get the job?
Ryder, he just showed up here one day out of the blue. We put him to work.
Mm-hmm. And when he left, was it because you fired him?
No, he just didn't show up one day.
Would you happen to have the date of the last day that he worked?
Yeah, I got it here. let's see, it was September 2nd.
Missing girl was 11. It was about a year back. Mother's convinced the girl was kidnapped, but nobody saw anything.
Did you say there's an indication that she might be a runaway?
Nothing definite, but it was a messy divorce situation, a custody fight. The girl's friends said she'd been depressed.
Does your department have knowledge of the family's whereabouts at the moment?
No, they moved. I don't know where.
Do you know the date the girl disappeared?
September 3rd.
Don't you see, he looks for girls around the same age whose disappearance might be viewed as a runaway. Girls from tough families, from broken homes. You might have thought that about Dana if she hadn't gotten away.
It'd be a possibility we would have to consider.
Ryder told Dana she was never going home because he planned to kill her. He knows how because he's done it twice before. Do you know how easy it would be to hide a body around here? You have to arrest him tonight.
It's all circumstantial. It would never stick.
Well, tell me what would.
Hard evidence and nothing less.
Couldn't do it, huh? Go on, go for it, Mommy. Bang, bang, all your troubles are over.
Stay away from Dana.
I don't think I want to.
Don't go near my daughter.
But I will, Mommy. They'll never find her. Are you gonna stop me, Mommy?
You okay in there? Sounded like a shot. What's going on in there? Ryder!
just called. We invited him for dinner. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's okay.
Are you all right?
I'm fine.
Linda, there's someone here to see you.
Thank you. Well, good afternoon.
Hello.
How's everything?
Fine. How about you?
Good, pretty good. How's Dana?
Better, thanks. Why are you here?
Well, I have some news for you.
About the case?
You could put it that way. He's dead. Ryder. In his apartment. They found his body late last night.
Dead? How?
Looks like he might have shot himself.
Suicide?
That's a distinct possibility.
He didn't strike me as the type.
Funny. That's exactly what I thought. You gotta have some remorse to kill yourself, right? Gee, this is a beautiful place. Certainly seems plausible that somebody else may have killed him. Certainly provoked enough people for that. Do you mind if I sit down?
Oh, please.
Thank you. But suicide is out of character.
Well, what makes you think he shot himself?
He was in his apartment, apparently alone. Both doors locked from the inside. A couple of tenants heard the shot. It was a single bullet to the head at close range, with his own gun. A neighbor identified the gun. He'd seen Ryder with it before. A Beretta 380 double-action automatic. You know anything about guns?
No, I don't.
No, I didn't think so. When you were worried about Ryder, you never mentioned it, you know, for protection.
No, Michael, my ex-husband, had a gun, but I was scared to death of it. I was always afraid that Dana might get hold of it and have an accident, so when he left, he took it with him. What makes you think that Ryder committed suicide?
I'm not convinced that he did.
I thought you said that he...
I said it looked like he might have. We'll have to wait for the investigation to be complete and the coroner's report to be in before we make a final determination. Anyway, you won't have to lose any sleep over this guy anymore.
Listen, I won't pretend I'm not glad that he's dead.
There's no reason you should. I'm only sorry I wasn't able to provide you with more protection.
I know that you did everything you could.
Well, I better be going. I just thought you'd want to know.
Thanks for coming.
Sure. That's a nasty bruise you got there.
I fell hiking. It's not as bad as it looks.
Be careful. Oh, by the way, Ryder had a dark room in his apartment. Had pictures of young girls all over the place. And also, we found a camera. Apparently the same camera that Dana saw inside his car.
Will that help in the cases about the missing girls?
I'm not ruling anything out. Bye.
And Jerry actually did a lot of the work himself.
Hey, Mr. Handy.
Well, it looks great, really. About as handy as Mr. Magoo. Linda won't even let me hang a picture for her.
Probably because it's a picture of you.
Ooh.
So, parent-teacher conferences next week, huh?
Oh.
Thanks.
Well, that'll be a nice break from the routine. Hey, why don't we do something fun next week? Shepherd's is having a great shoe sale.
Good idea. Let's get some shoes. Excuse me, I'm gonna get some fresh air.
It's gonna take some time.
I'll be right there. Okay. I'll be in the kitchen.
coffee for me. I think I'll give you a break. Head on home.
I am tired. Why are you so damn perfect?
Beats me.
Well, stop it. I don't deserve it.
Okay. What is it? What's going on?
Can we do this some other time?
No, we can't. I know the talk at Susan's upset you, but it is something else. What is it? Whatever this is about, I wish you'd make it my problem, too.
Oh, wow. I can't. Dana, get in the car.
Okay, bye. Mom, you unlock the door?
Dana,
Yeah, Mom.
what do you think about going to see your dad for a while in San Francisco?
Mom, I thought we settled that.
Well, we did, but I may have to go away for a while.
Where?
I don't know yet, but I thought we'd discuss it. Let's give it a little thought.
Well, I don't have to think about it. I want to stay here with you.
If I asked you to, you'd go. For me, right? Just for a little while?
Mom, does this have anything to do with Chrissy Ryder's father shooting himself?
Dana, that doesn't have anything to do with us.
It's just... Even if he did the thing he did, I feel...
What, honey? What?
I guess I feel it was somehow my fault.
Dana, you shouldn't feel that way.
But I do.
Baby.
I do.
You aren't responsible for what happened. Do you understand? You are not responsible, Dana.
They call it morbid curiosity.
I just wanted to see where he'd lived.
It's all right. The DA is meeting me here. We got to take one more look around. Why don't you come in with me?
No, I couldn't do that.
No, it'd be good. Be good to have somebody to bounce things off of. You've been very helpful so far. Come on.
Is there any new evidence?
Well, the coroner's report was inconclusive. But I've been thinking about motives.
Motives?
Motives for suicide, motives for murder.
So what about motives?
Well, there are lots of motives for suicide. Despair, remorse, guilt, fear. But I can't put any of these things together with Ryder. Now, if it was about murder, I know a bit more about that.
Motives for murder?
Yeah. People kill for many reasons. Now, in the case of Ryder, I think we can rule out greed and lust right away.
What about rage?
Well, that might work if he had died in a bar fight. But if he was murdered, it's obvious that somebody planned it out pretty carefully. So, impulse based on rage is out.
Leaves you with revenge or fear.
I gotta follow all the leads about people who wanted to get back at Ryder. Or who were so frightened of him that they wanted him eliminated.
Or maybe both.
Maybe. See, for instance, he could have been blackmailing somebody. Now, he had a camera. We know he took his own pictures and developed his own pictures. We didn't find any that would be incriminating.
I think you've already worked out a murder theory with all the evidence you've collected.
Maybe. See, the killer could have come through a window. Come here a second, will you? See here?
Yes.
Okay. This screen was loose, and the window was unlocked.
Any fingerprints?
The person wearing gloves. All right, come over here, because this is where it all happened, all right? Okay. The person could easily have known that Ryder had a loaded gun in here. Would have been a very simple matter for him to break in, wait for Ryder, and shoot him at close range. Because the nature of the wound and the powder burns on his head indicate that the gun was only a few inches from his head when it was fired.
Well, doesn't that tie in with the suicide theory?
The placement and the angle, you know, that's funny for suicide.
What do you mean funny?
Look, a person wants to kill himself, he holds the gun like this, right? That's so if he's looking forward, he can't see the gun. But the bullet went in over here on Ryder, and it angled upward, which means that he would have had to taken his arm like this, turned it around, held it like this over here.
Well, what if he was left-handed?
No, bats right, throws right, varsity baseball. Also, his eyes were wide open.
Open?
Yeah, I've seen lots of suicides by gun, and they all have this characteristic that the eyes are pinched shut, like they're expecting the shot, or they don't want to see anything anymore, or maybe it's just a reflex action like a sneeze.
Jake? Oh, Mrs. Hemmings.
I really have to go. I have to pick up Dana.
Yes, of course you do. Look, maybe somebody will come forward and confess. Happens all the time. Can't take the pressure, the guilt. You know, murder's murder, even if the victim deserved it. Will you give my best to Dana?
Yes, I will.
It's Mrs. Hemmings. I'll let you know if anything comes up.
You got 2 suspects left, Jake. What are you going to do about it?
Mrs. Hemmings, you said page 53, chapter 6, right? Mrs. Hemmings? Page 53, chapter 6?
Yes.
Mrs. Hemmings?
There's a phone call for you.
Hello?
Hello, Mrs. Hemmings. This is Lieutenant Willman. I need you to come in.
Come in.
Yeah, I need to talk to you.
Woman wants to talk to you? About what?
I don't know, but he was very helpful when I needed it.
Okay, I'll drive you.
No, that's all right. I'll drive
All right,
myself.
come on. This has gone on for weeks. Ryder is dead. There is no way he can hurt Dana anymore. So what is wrong? Tell me.
We're going to lose something that's great, Linda. You're throwing it away. Right now.
Ryder liked to threaten people and then hurt them. So I guess one of these guys figured, why should I wait for Ryder to come and get me?
Sounds possible.
I think so. I mean, I really think it does. I mean, I know it does. I know it fits the suspect we brought in.
You have a suspect?
Yeah, Charlie Garnsey. We brought him in for questioning. He looks good. We may have a case. I told you about Charlie Garnsey. You know the one Ryder beat up that dropped the assault charge?
Yes, yes, you did.
Garnsey was thrilled when Ryder got himself in trouble yet one more time. So one night, after a couple of more beers, he started talking about how if Ryder somehow got himself out of jail, it would be a very good idea if somebody killed him. Well, he knew Ryder's apartment, and he can't account for his whereabouts when Ryder was killed. Also, there's a history there. Ryder beat him up, humiliated him. Garnsey carried that around him for a long time.
You have to let him go.
Why? Don't you think he did it? Linda, you can ask me questions. Ask me questions.
What if Ryder was shot, but the person who did it didn't really want to do it?
Then it would be manslaughter.
But if the person went there not to kill Ryder, but because he was planning to do something so terrible, so horrible, and no one could stop him, no one. And found his gun. Loaded.
Go on.
But realized that no matter what, it wasn't right and just wanted to leave.
Then we would have breaking and entering. Under the circumstances, that might be thrown out. But we have a dead man here.
Before the person can leave, Ryder says he's going to go through with what he planned. He's going to murder someone.
Somebody breaks into Ryder's apartment, finds his gun, decides to kill him, and then decides not to. And? What? Ryder gets angry, throws out a threat.
Not a threat, a promise. A promise to kill someone who's totally defenseless.
And then there's a confrontation.
Yes.
And Ryder's killed.
Yes.
Absolutely. There are no questions about all of this.
No.
If all that were the case, and there was proof, the charge would be murder, and the jury would probably convict.
Then I guess that's what's going to happen. I'm willing to let that happen.
I could be wrong about Garnsey. I'm going to let him go. Process him out of here. Probable suicide is going down in my report. 10 minutes of typing, and we will put this one behind us.
Are you saying this is over?
It is. For me.
Used to come up here to hunt ducks when I was a kid. Hell of a place.
That's what Ryder thought.
Analysis come back on the blood you found in the shack?
2 different blood types. Each matching one of the little girls missing.
Think they're out there?
Oh, I know they're out there. Ryder brought them here, dumped them in.
About the file on Ryder's death. I want to close it.
You have my report?
It's inconclusive.
Suicide.
That's not the way your investigation was headed. You had 2 suspects.
28 years I'm doing this. Best I can figure. Ryder pulled the trigger himself.
Somebody else can pick up the ball on this, Jake.
You challenging me?
Take it easy.
Because if you are, I can very easily go back to fishing full time.
Nobody said that.
Curtis, is this a good time?
Sure, Mrs. Hemmings. I was just leaving, but I'd be happy to develop it for you.
No, it's my first time, and I'd like to try and get the hang of it.
Hey, great. Well, everything's just like I showed you the other day. Soup's here, printer, paper. Just make sure you lock up. I wouldn't want some moron to ruin your masterpiece.
All right, thanks. Any luck?
Soon.
I have something for you. Here's a newspaper in there. A story about a girl who was murdered in Monroe, Louisiana.
When?
August.
Yeah. Ryder took a trip down to Louisiana in August.
The story says she was killed by a gunshot from a .380 automatic.
Well, ballistics will have no trouble making that match.
Also pictures. From a roll of film from Ryder's camera. The pictures of the girl from Louisiana. Before and after he killed her.
We got the autopsy on those 2 girls we pulled out of the water at Pilson's Landing.
You identified them?
Each was killed by 1 shot. from Ryder's gun. You know, you ought to try this sometime. Bring Dana. I'd enjoy the company.
Maybe I will.
Aha! I see those bare feet. How could I ever have thought about sending you away?
You can't. You're stuck with me forever, right? Sweet dreams. Good night.
Hello?
They're calling it a suicide, but I know it was murder.
Who is this?